The wind moves softly through the open fields of Heartland, carrying memories that never really left. The ranch stands silent under the golden light, like it's holding its breath, waiting for something or someone. The fences, the horses, even the air feels different, like it knows a story is about to begin again. You can almost hear his voice, see that familiar smile, and feel the heartbeat that once kept Heartland alive. After years of loss and longing, whispers begin to spread across the ranch. Ty is back. Time has moved on at Heartland, but some memories never fade. Every sunrise reminds Amy of him, the way he rode through the morning fog, the sound of his laughter echoing in the distance, the peace he brought wherever he went. Even after all these years, his presence lingers like a shadow that refuses to disappear. The old barn still smells like fresh hay and the leather of saddles they used together. Sometimes, when Amy closes her eyes, she can still see him walking toward her with that calm smile that could make any storm fade away. Life has tested everyone since he left. Amy has learned to be strong, to raise her daughter with courage and kindness. But deep inside, she carries a space only Ty could fill. Every ride across the fields reminds her of their bond, the love they built from dust and dreams, and how it shaped everything Heartland became. The ranch has seen heartbreak before, but this one was different. This loss changed everything. Yet even in silence, there's hope. It's in the way Amy looks toward the horizon every evening, like she's waiting for something she can't explain. People around her feel it too. Jack senses it in the wind. Lisa says it's the way the horses have been acting lately, restless, alert, like they know something's coming. Lou has noticed Amy smiling for no reason, staring into the distance as if she heard a voice calling her name. There's an energy in Heartland that hasn't been felt in years. The past feels close, almost close enough to touch. Every night, the ranch glows softly under the moonlight, and the memories come rushing back. The times when Ty would fix a broken fence or stay up late caring for an injured horse. The way he looked at Amy as if the whole world existed only in her eyes. The world moved on without him, but Heartland never really did. It's like the place itself refused to let go of his spirit. And now, for the first time in a long time, that spirit feels real again. Something's changing. Something big is about to happen. The story that once ended in heartbreak is about to be rewritten. There was a time when Heartland felt unbreakable. Every sunrise began with laughter, and every sunset ended with peace. Ty Borden wasn't just a man, he was the soul of the ranch. His hands healed more than injured horses. They healed hearts. His words carried calm even in the middle of chaos. When Ty was around, everything felt possible. He had that rare kind of strength that didn't come from power, but from kindness. He didn't just live at Heartland. He was Heartland. From the day he arrived as that lost, angry boy trying to find a second chance, to the man who became Amy's partner. His story was one of growth, forgiveness, and love. He learned what family truly meant. He fought battles not only with the world, but also within himself. But no matter how broken things got, Ty always found his way back to the people he loved. The horses trusted him, the ranch relied on him, and Amy, she saw in him the kind of love that changes everything. Together, they built a life that inspired everyone around them. Then came the day that shattered everything. It started like any other morning at Heartland. The sun was gentle, the air was quiet, and Amy was smiling. No one knew that by the end of that day, the world they knew would be gone. Ty's story came to a sudden, heartbreaking end. The news spread like wildfire, and for a long time, no one at Heartland could even say his name without tears. Amy tried to stay strong for her daughter, for the ranch, for the memory of the man she loved. But some losses carved deeper than words can reach. Nights grew colder. The ranch grew quieter. And it felt like Heartland itself had lost its heartbeat. Still, life went on, as it always does. Amy poured her pain into her work, helping horses the way Ty once helped her heal. She raised her daughter with stories of the man who once made her world whole. Every lesson she taught carried a piece of him, his patience, his compassion, his quiet strength. But no matter how much time passed, Ty's shadow stayed close. Every whisper of wind through the aspen trees felt like him. Every soft nicker from Spartan felt like a reminder that he was still watching, still guiding them somehow, that the fans never stopped hoping either. Letters, tributes, and memories kept his story alive far beyond the ranch. People from all over the world said Ty was more than a character. He was a symbol of love, loyalty, and second chances. And maybe, deep down, Amy believed it too. Maybe she never really said goodbye, because a love like that doesn't fade with time. It only grows stronger. She learned to smile again, but part of her heart always stayed with him, waiting, quietly, patiently, like a candle that never goes out. Years passed, and life began to bloom again at Heartland. New horses, new faces, new beginnings. But even as the world moved forward, something kept pulling everyone back, a strange, almost magical sense that the story wasn't over. That somehow, in some way, Ty's journey hadn't truly ended. It was as if the universe itself was waiting for the right moment to bring him home. And now, that moment feels close. The air has changed. The wind carries his name again. The fences creak with the sound of return. Heartland has always been a place of healing, of miracles that come when you least expect them. And maybe, just maybe, this is one of them. Because sometimes the people we love most find their way back not as memories, but as living proof that love never dies. Amy's eyes are starting to tell a different story now. Hope flickers where silence once lived. The ranch feels alive again. And if you listen closely, you can almost hear it, the sound of hooves in the distance. A rhythm the land remembers. A heartbeat returning home. Something feels different at Heartland now. The air carries a strange energy, heavy with memories and whispers of the past. It's the kind of feeling that makes the hair on your arms stand up, like the world is holding its breath. For weeks, the weather has been shifting. Sudden gusts of wind, restless horses, and nights where the ranch seems to glow under the moonlight. Amy notices it first. She can't explain it, but there's a pull in her heart, a quiet voice that keeps telling her to look toward the horizon. Every morning, when she steps out of the house, she feels it stronger, like the earth itself is trying to tell her something. Jack feels it too, though he won't admit it. The old man has seen his share of miracles and heartbreaks, but this is different. He's been waking earlier than usual, sitting on the porch with his coffee, watching the fog roll over the fields. He says it's just habit, but deep down, he knows. The horses have been uneasy, pacing in their stalls, eyes wide and alert. Even Spartan seems restless, snorting at the wind as if recognizing an old scent. The entire ranch feels alive in a way it hasn't been in years, as if preparing for someone's return. Lou, always the practical one, brushes it off as coincidence. She tells Amy it's just the season changing, that maybe they're all looking for signs that aren't really there. But one evening, when she passes the old photo of Ty on the wall, she stops for a moment longer than usual. The smile on his face feels different now, warmer, closer. It's as if the picture itself has come to life, watching over them. Lou shakes it off, but in her heart, she feels it too, the same unspoken hope that none of them dare to say out loud. Then come the little things. The radio turns on by itself one morning, playing the song Amy and Ty danced 2 years ago. The old barn door that used to creak every time someone opened it suddenly swings freely, as if someone had just oiled the hinges. A lost horseshoe that Ty once nailed above the stable door falls to the ground, perfectly upright. These aren't accidents, not here, not in Heartland. The ranch has always had a way of speaking, of carrying messages through moments too strange to ignore. One night, Amy rides out alone. The moonlight spills across the fields like silver fire, and the wind hums softly through the trees. She doesn't know where she's going, only that something is pulling her forward. She follows the trail past the creek, past the spot where she and Ty once spent countless evenings talking about dreams, the future, and forever. Her heart beats faster with every step. Then she stops. In the distance, she sees a flicker of light, faint, warm, and steady. It's coming from the old cabin Ty built years ago. the same one that's been empty ever since he left. Amy's breath catches. The windows are glowing softly. For a moment, she thinks she's imagining it, the reflection of the moon, maybe. But then she hears it. The sound of footsteps, slow, measured, familiar. Her eyes fill with tears she doesn't understand. The door of the cabin moves slightly, creaking open just enough to let out a beam of golden light. Inside, she can see shadows, one of them tall, broad-shouldered, standing by the window, just the way Ty used to when he'd wait for her. She doesn't move. The air is still. The world seems to stop. For the first time in years, Amy feels something she thought she'd lost forever: peace. It's not fear, not confusion, but a quiet certainty that some stories don't end where we think they do. Some stories wait patiently until we're ready to see them again. The next morning, Heartland wakes to a sky painted in gold and crimson. The wind is calm, the horses are quiet, and Amy is different. There's a softness in her eyes, the kind that only comes from knowing something beautiful is about to happen. Jack notices it immediately. Lou does too. But Amy doesn't say a word. She just smiles, a small, secret smile, and looks toward the distant cabin, where the smoke from a freshly lit fire curls gently into the sky. Heartland has always been about family, about healing, about finding your way home. And now all of that feels closer than ever. Something is coming. Something the whole world has been waiting for. The sound of hooves will soon echo across the ranch again, steady, strong, and unforgettable. And this time, when Amy turns to see who's riding toward her, she won't be dreaming. Because sometimes miracles don't just happen, they come back. The morning light creeps across the Heartland, feels like a slow breath of life returning after years of silence. Everything feels sharper, brighter, the sky clearer, the wind calmer, the earth warmer beneath the feet of the horses. It's as if the whole ranch has woken from a long dream. Amy stands near the fence, her hands resting on the wood, watching the horizon with a look that's part hope, part disbelief. The world around her feels both familiar and new, as though something sacred is finally finding its way home. The wind shifts, carrying with it a sound she hasn't heard in so long, the steady, rhythmic beat of hooves against the ground. At first, it's faint, barely there, like a heartbeat in the distance. But it grows stronger, closer, filling the air with a rhythm that stirs every memory she ever buried. Amy's breath catches in her throat. Her eyes scan the open field. There, between the rising mist and the early light, a figure appears on horseback, tall, calm, and unmistakably familiar. Her mind refuses to believe it, but her heart already knows. He rides with the same quiet confidence, the same grace that once made everyone stop and stare. The horse moves as if guided by memory, each stride steady and sure. The sun climbs higher, and his face slowly comes into view, the soft lines, the calm eyes, the expression that feels like coming home. For a moment, Amy can't move. The world fades away, leaving only that single image. Ty alive, real, and right in front of her. He stops a few feet away, dismounting like he never left. For a long time, neither of them speaks. They just stand there looking at each other, caught between disbelief and wonder. The silence says everything words never could. Years of love, loss, and longing condensed into one heartbeat. The wind tugs gently at Amy's hair, and she feels tears sliding down her face before she even realizes she's crying. When Ty finally smiles, it's the same smile that once healed her world. Soft, knowing, and full of warmth. "Took me a while to find my way back," he says quietly, his voice low but steady. Amy lets out a shaky laugh, half sob, half joy. "You always did take the long road," she whispers, stepping closer. He reaches out, and when their hands touch, it's like time folds in on itself. All the pain, the loneliness, the endless waiting, gone. Only love remains. The ranch seems to hold its breath. Jack, watching from the porch, sets his coffee down slowly, his eyes wide with tears he refuses to wipe away. Lou comes to his side, stunned into silence. Even the horses stand still, heads turned toward the field as if they understand the miracle unfolding before them. Heartland has seen many homecomings, but none like this. None so impossible, so pure, so full of grace. Amy and Ty walk together toward the barn, their steps perfectly in sync, like they never missed a beat. Every corner of the ranch feels alive again, birds singing louder, the creek flowing clearer, the air humming with quiet joy. Ty stops for a moment to touch the old barn door, his hand tracing the marks he carved there years ago. "Feels like I never left," he says softly. Amy smiles through her tears. "Maybe you never did." They stand together in the golden light, two souls that refuse to be separated by time, loss, or even fate. The camera would linger here on the beauty of their silence, on the weight of their reunion. Because this isn't just about one man returning. It's about love finding its way through the impossible. It's about promises kept, hearts healed, and the power of hope that never dies. As the day fades, the sun paints the ranch in shades of fire and gold. Ty looks out over the land, his home, his family, and a life waiting to be lived again. Amy leans her head against his shoulder, her heart steady at last. In that moment, Heartland feels whole, as if the missing piece has finally returned. The wind carries his name across the fields, gentle and sure, whispering what everyone already knows. Ty Borden is home, and nothing will ever be the same again. For a moment, time stands still at Heartland. The sun seems to shine brighter, the air feels warmer, and the ranch, once filled with quiet echoes, hums again with life. Ty's return isn't just a moment. It's a miracle that reaches far beyond the fences of the ranch. The wine carries the story across the open fields, over the hills, and into the hearts of those who never stopped waiting. The name Ty Borden spreads like wildfire, not in words, but in feeling, a pulse that runs through every soul that ever loved Heartland. Amy walks beside him, her face glowing with that rare light that only love can bring back. Every step they take together feels like stitching time back into place. The pain of the past, the long nights of grief, the emptiness that haunted her, all of it melts away beneath the strength of one simple truth: he's home. The world may have changed, but some things are eternal: love, family, Heartland. Jack watches them from a distance, his weathered face softened with pride. For years, he carried the weight of everyone's pain, the quiet anchor that kept the family grounded. But now, even he feels young again. "Told you miracles still happen," he whispers under his breath. Lou, standing beside him, nods with tears in her eyes. Katie runs toward Amy and Ty, laughter breaking through the heavy air, her joy pure and bright, the kind of laughter that can only exist when the world feels right again. News travels fast, even in a small town. Neighbors drive by just to make sure it's true. People gather at the edge of the road, their faces glowing with disbelief and wonder. Phones light up, cameras roll, and social media bursts alive. #Ty'sBack starts trending before the sun even sets. Across the world, fans cry in front of their screens, hands covering their mouths as they watch the impossible unfold. Some laugh through their tears. Others simply stare, unable to speak, hearts full of memories from the very first episode they ever watched. For the fans, Ty's return isn't just about the show. It's about life, about holding on when it hurts, about believing when it seems foolish, and about never giving up on love no matter how far it drifts. He became more than a character. He was a reflection of everything people hoped for: redemption, loyalty, kindness. And now, seeing him again feels like a promise kept. A reminder that even in the hardest stories, hope has the final word. Amy and Ty walk toward the paddock as the sun dips low, painting the sky in shades of gold and rose. The horses gather near the fence, quiet and calm, their eyes following the couple as if recognizing their old friend. Spartan steps forward, letting out a soft nicker, a sound that feels like a greeting, like home. Ty smiles, rubbing Spartan's neck gently. "Missed me, huh?" he says softly. Amy watches, tears glistening in her eyes, and the years between them dissolve into that single moment. The air feels electric, charged with something bigger than words. It's as if the land itself is sighing with relief, the mountains standing tall again, the fields glowing like they used to, and the river flowing with a new kind of peace. Every sound, every breath, every heartbeat echoes one truth. Heartland is alive again. As night falls, the ranch glows with the warmth of laughter and light. The camera would move slowly through the house, the photos on the wall, the familiar kitchen, the booths by the door, each frame a memory reborn. The wind whispers through the open window, carrying the faint sound of a horse's whinny, and Amy's soft laughter fills the air. The world feels whole again. For the viewers, this is more than just a scene. It's a homecoming of the heart. It's the moment they've dreamed about for years finally made real. And as the screen fades to black, the words appear slowly, glowing against the darkness like embers of hope. Heartland Season 19. Episode 3, Ty is back. Then silence, just the sound of the wind through the trees. The ranch bathed in starlight, the promise of tomorrow shining in every corner of Heartland, because some stories never end, they just find their way home.